If you are a business and you are Black owned, Latinx, hit us up at Shop Bob. Follow Shop Bob. You just click the icon at the top and the drop down menu will be there, and follow Shop Bob, and I will make sure to reach out to you because I want to interview you and know more about your products. And next up, I've got a special friend that I have coming on for this evening. This woman has been an extraordinary person in my life. And not only did she take a passion and create it into sales, but the girl is so out of product. I can't even get some of them. I got to get it quick.
Hello, my love. How are you?
Welcome. Okay, so
hopefully you can see me clearly because my lighting is just like all dark and moody.
You look amazing as always, girl. You be flawless. I ain't never seen you off ever. You ain't never been off.
I did this for you. Listen, the whole time you were on your last call, I was like, "Oh, she's pretty. Oh, she's cute. Let me make myself look presentable."
You know what? I ain't even started. Wait till we get into how she really get down. So D. Marie, excuse me. That's if you will, introduce you and your company to everyone a part of Shop Bob.
Yes. Hi, my name is Denise. I go by D Marie 80 on Instagram if you'd like to follow me. And my company is Lumin-e-scents by D Marie. And I made handmade home and body products. So I do everything and when I say handmade, I mean everything is handmade. So I do everything from candles to reed diffusers. I do car diffusers for your vehicles. I do room and linen sprays so that you can spray scents on your bedding and your sofas and just have your whole house smelling with all kinds of goodness. And I also have on the body side, root diffusers, diffuser refills, all of those stuff for your home smell goods. Mm-hmm. And then on the body side of it, I make body butters. I have coffee and sugar scrubs. Mm-hmm. I also make I'm trying to think of everything.
I know you do it.
Right. And I have soap scrubs. I'm getting ready to start working a small batch for some soaps goat milk and really and I've had this for a while. I've just been putting it off because I don't know how it's going to kind of go over it. So it's all organic, goat milk and shea butter. So, and then thing about my all of my body products is that each one that I make is all shea butter is a component of everything. So Cocoa Shea by Lumin-e-scents is the brand for the body. Sorry. So I also do beard oils and beard balms for men. I try to make sure that I'm, kind of incorporating the gentlemen as well as the ladies. So I have my little gentleman's corner on my my Etsy page. So those are just some of the things that I kind of produce and sell. And like I said, everything is handmade by me 100%. No, I'm not shopping at a store for anything and kind of sticking a label on them. I'm actually kind of using measurements and scales and what's going to work. And I took a long time to kind of really try to figure out, what are the ratios to make sure that if I'm making my all natural body butter, right, that it's all still 100% natural. And I'm not using, a variation of maybe a fragrance oil to kind of take away from all of the nutrients and everything that is within my product. So a little bit long-winded, but that's that's
actually I wanted to get into why, because I remember getting my first candle from you. For all of you guys, I just want y'all to know that I am not just a fan. I am also a consumer. Hello. Bam. Okay. I want to know, how did you get into making candles, like what, because I burnt this candle that this is my, I think this is my third candle, because I really actually I put this on my wish list. This is my birthday list. I got stuff from Christmas, and
Let me
there
see
is
that.
something.
I'm gonna send you some. Let me send you a little something.
This is the black pearl. This is the black pearl one. Yes, the fresh black pearl. When you open it, it smells like literally the scent just permeates. It just like fills the room. It is delicious. It's clean. I love scents that just like rich, and I could tell that you don't play with your ingredients, because you know how you'll buy a candle and it'll have that, I can't even explain it. It just smells like invitation. It just smells, and it's just so fresh and fragrant, and it lasts. These candles last, honey.
Yes.
What got
So,
you into really doing this? Because I was floored when you were really making it by hand. You turned your entire kitchen into a factory. I don't know how you
yes,
did it.
yes. So, funny story, and thank you so much for kind of saying, all those wonderful things about my products. I really, really appreciate it. But so what happened was I had a girlfriend who wanted to start a candle business, and I actually was probably, I want to say, like, one of her first customers. And when you came for my birthday a few years back, remember I gave candles to everyone.
Yeah.
I ordered those all the way from New York. What happened was that a few of them came broken, and I had wax but no vessels for them, and I had no idea what I was going to do with it. So I was like, I wonder if I could just melt it down and just, put it in something else, so that I don't end up having to throw it away or getting rid of it, because they weren't exactly cheap. So I was like, let me try that out. And I did that, and I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. And I was like, I wonder if I could do this, but kind of like, switch it up a little bit and kind of make it more Denise, and, make it, something that was a representation of me. And, as Libras, we're all about the pretty things and the smell good and the that, and all the things that kind of, just make you feel beautiful. And for me, it was kind of like, I wanted to do something, but I didn't want to do it and kind of make it seem like I was like copying anyone or doing anything that anybody else was doing. I wanted to try to find something that was going to be true and authentic to me. And my first voyeur into it was when Christmas came along that very same year. And instead of purchasing gifts for like my sisters and my mom, and and I was also coming to New York, and I was going to see all my friends, I was like, let me just make like a batch and see what happens. And then I started doing research on companies for where I can get supplies from. Like, where do I find wax? Where do I find the wigs? Where do I find the scents? Like, what are going to be the best things? And I ended up picking up a kit to make candles from a company called the Wooden Wick, and it came with everything in it. And I made candles for my mom, my sisters, and all my friends in New York when I got to see them. And the feedback was just like, whoa, this, like, it was like, like, you made this, like, this is you, like, this is nice. And then it became so when can you make me more, or when can I get this, and so I started getting requests for the candles that I was making. And one of the things that I wanted to do to set myself apart was like, I wanted to take the actual botanicals that were in fragrances, and I want them to have to be a visual representation of each candle.
Look at this, y'all. Look how beautiful this is.
And that was actually my signature scent, the fresh black pearl and my sand violet candle. Those were actually, and if anybody can see, those were actually my initial candle scents that I started working with. And I was like, okay, so if this has, like, the fresh black pearl has peonies, it has lavender, it has rose, it has, all those things. So I picked out the flowers that I thought would be the prettiest. And those are what I finished off each of my candles with, just so that they not only were a visual representation of the actual candle, but they were also those actual botanicals, in like it combined with all the oils and everything, you end up getting an even more a stronger scent and a longer lasting scent. So that's kind of how I came about, like kind of doing that. And then with my body butters, I actually suffer from eczema, and I would have like, you know, like the raw cocoa butter, the raw shea butter. Then I'd have like a bottle. I concocted like an oil that I would use, and I was taking all of these things and putting them in my hand, and you know, putting them together and putting it on my skin. And I was like, this is so messy. Like, if I wish, like, maybe I could kind of turn this into like one thing, you know, would solve all the problems. And it actually did solve the problem for me. And then along with the candles, I gave them out for Christmas, and I told my family about it. I took a bottle to like a family event, and I told my family about it, and I was like, you want to try this? And they were like, yeah, what's that? You know, I was like, oh, it's my body butter. I'm kind of selling it. By the end of the night, I had about an order of 15, and that was my very first like large order, and it came from my family, and they, you know, kind of really were my first customers. So that's how that all came about.
So, like I said, I put your stuff on my Christmas list because I ran out of stuff. So I have the Cocoa Shea body butter. I have the lavender vanilla scent. So for me, I really enjoy this one because lavender, there's something about this fragrance. It allows me to feel such a zen. It takes me there so much faster. But what I love about your Shea product is that this jar can last me. A little will do it, and I am done. Hands, elbows, knees, and feet, good to go. I love the scent. I love that hint. Like, it's not overpowering. It's just beautiful. And then my other favorite fragrance, I don't have the with me, is the honeysuckle and jasmine. I am.
Let me tell you about that honeysuckle and jasmine. I actually had one of my return customers contact me over the weekend, and she was like, she orders a large amount every single time. And I told her, so I've been actually having some supply chain issues. Thank you, COVID-19. I appreciate coming in here and, you know, just kind of messing things up for me. So I've been having some supply chain issues with a lot of my ingredients. You know, African shea butter that comes all the way from, and the raw cocoa butter, that stuff comes from Africa. And for me to be able to get it, it's like right now, either it's sold out or the prices are so astronomical for the supplies because it's so high that it's like, I have what I have, and as soon as I can get more, I'll let you know. And she actually contacted me, and she was like, she was like, it's time for my order. I was like, oh, I'm having some supply chain issues. She was like, do you have my honeysuckle? I was like, yeah. She said, I want everything you have. I literally sent her a huge box with about 12 jars of my honeysuckle body butter. And then her friend, who she told about it and gave one of her bottles to, contacted me like half an hour later. She was like, do you have any of the honeysuckle? I'm sorry, it's out. We don't have any.
I love the scent. I didn't even, because I have a travel size, that's how I was introduced to this. And I was just like, what? It is amazing. I love it. When I put it on, people walk by and they're like, what is that you're wearing? Like, it's just lotion.
Yep.
But that's how beautiful your sense is. And I wouldn't think of anything less when it comes to you, because you are such a particular person when it comes to excellence. Let's be real. Down to the packaging. You play no games. And that's why I'm really in awe of you, because in your design, you really take your products to the next level. I love the packaging that you do. I love how you're so thoughtful in how your product is even presented to your customer. And I think a lot of businesses, they lack that touch of design. Like, hello, like, this is incredible. We talk about package sauce. Come on now. Come on with it. Package sauce.
That was really important. Yeah, that was something that was really important to me. And you know, in some ways I'm a perfectionist because I feel like if I'm putting something out there, it's going to be a representation of me. If you know me, and you're purchasing from me, I want that you're happy with what you get, and you're satisfied with what you get. That's really, really important to me, because it's like, that's me. That's my name. Like Lumin-e-scents by Dee Marie. That's me. Like I put that together. Like I did that with my hands, and everything that you see that is presented to you are all things that I have done on my own. There is no designer. There's no, there isn't somebody back there with Adobe and I'm telling them what to do, and they're kind of, putting it out there for me, and I'm giving them like a yes or a no. I actually made these labels myself. I designed them myself, and then I found printing companies to, print them for me. Like even like so much like this continuity is really, really important. I feel like it tells a story, and it tells a story of your product. It tells a story of, how much work you put into it. And it just, I feel like it shows the love that I have for it. And so that's why I work so hard to make sure that everything has their visual representation. So all of the candles are going to look the same, even if they're in different vessels. Like all of the bottles are going to look the same. Like, and that for me is important, because the story needs to be told throughout. And from the time you get your box to the time you open it, to the time you use it, and the time you feel like you want to replenish what you've already, it's already there. You have all of those things, in your mind and in your visual memory to be like, oh yeah, I remember where I got that from, or I know what that is. And what's funny is some people have contacted me and they're like, oh, I don't remember what candle I have, but I was like, what were the flowers that were on top of it? And they'll tell me, and I'm like, oh, it's the fresh black pearl, or oh, it's the Egyptian essence, or and I can just like that, I know exactly which one has, and I can easily kind of go back and help a customer to find what they're looking for. So
there's something else that you mentioned to me that I didn't even know, that you were tapping into men's products. Tell me more about that, about beard oil, and there was something else that you mentioned.
Beard balm. Yes. So it's all natural beard oil and beard balm. So the beard balm is more of a waxy, and a more waxier product. And what it is that you use it for grooming purposes. If you want to, you could use the oil if you have dry patches under your beard, or if your skin is a little bit more coarse, or, even if you have eczema, like underneath your beard, and you have skin issues, this really helps, because it's high in vitamin E. It has jojoba oil. It has avocado oil. It has all these oils that are really, really high in all of those essential vitamins and minerals that you need to help your skin. So the waxier one is more so one, like if you just got a shave, right? And you just want to shape it up and you just want to make it look neat. You kind of, pull that pomade in your hand and you put it on your beard, and you could use the beard oil and you can massage that into your skin. And what it does is that it gives you that moisture that you may not have, or lock in that moisture after you've washed your face in the morning, and keep your hair, nice and soft, so that your boo is not on some, why you always scratching me? Can you do something about that? Especially since like the beard and the mustache and the goatee thing, those are things that are like really, really sexy on a man, right? And it's one of those things that I never thought would be a thing, but it's like a thing. And when I looked into like kind of what can I do for the men, that was the one thing that I felt like I could kind of contribute to the men grooming. And if I'm being very honest, the guys love my candles too. So they love them to give them as gifts, and they love to burn them on their own in my home. So in their home. So, my ex, he used to get my candles and he would just have them sitting because he said they're too pretty. He didn't want to burn them. And when he actually burned them, he has this thing where he does like side-by-side testing. And he was like, I burn your candle, and like I burn one that I got from like Bath and Body Works. And he was like, first of all, yours lasts longer. He was like,
Yes.
that one just smells like wax, and I
Yes.
don't think to do any of that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I 100% agree, and that's why I absolutely love your candles, because I love burning candles. I love how natural a good candle can really fill a room without the
yeah,
sprays and the other things that people use to mask and cover. But
yeah,
with your candles, like, they last so long, and
yeah,
it's just so rich. As soon as you light it, and you I have a pretty big space in my living room. It'll fill the entire floor.
yeah.
And that is so necessary, because I don't got money to keep going back and buying all of this. I need one that's gonna last. And the price points are really great. Even with all this amazing packaging that you give. You don't settle on your packaging, but yet all of your items are so affordable.
Yeah,
And I don't
that's
mind giving them
true.
as a gift. I don't even need to add anything extra. Even with, like, going back to this box, like, this is gorgeous, shipped to me like this, gorgeous tissue paper inside, and then the candle is just like, this is you're amazing. But I already love you.
You
I love
and
you.
I'm
I
touched,
know.
darling.
I do. I also wanted to really touch and base with another thing that you do, because you don't have just one business, you do have another.
Yes,
And I did want to also highlight your amazing eye to detail when it comes to event planning.
yes. Thank.
Like, I cannot wait to throw an event, to have to fly you out to make it happen, because your attention to detail is impeccable. Like,
Yes, thank you. And just to say, I do all of this with a full-time job. So, it's the Caribbean in me. It's like there's always has to be a hustle. You shouldn't have too much idle time. If you're gonna be sitting around, you might as well figure out what you're gonna do with that time and how it's gonna make you some money. And so that's a part of that. So yeah, DMC events, that's my very first voyeur into entrepreneurship.
okay.
That was the first business that I started. Actually, no, that wasn't the first. The first business I started was when I was baking, decorating, and selling cakes.
Oh,
Kitchen in the Bronx when I lived in New York. And that transitioned into my event planning business that I've had since 2009. And yeah, I believe in telling a story. I believe in continuity. I believe in kind of making sure that, if it starts with one small little piece, that one little piece blossoms into a beautiful, memorable event and time, not only for me, but for my guests as well. And the part that I love most about that is that I get to use all of my creative juices, right? So even for, I threw myself a party, and I knew that all I knew was that I wanted rose gold and navy blue. That was all I knew. That turned into navy blue flower arrangements. It turned into, specific table settings, and it turned into this amazing event that everyone that joined me and was here and was celebrating with me was able to enjoy, and just kind of just be like, grab glimpses of little things that they will always remember
mm-hmm.
from. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's the part of it that I strive for it to be memorable, for it to be for it to be something that for a very long time is talked about. I did corporate events for 5 years
Mm-hmm.
prior to working where I am now. And I did like 4 events a year, and every single one of them had their own identity. Every single one of them stood out from the next. Every single one of them had their own story to be told.
Right.
And working with different vendors, I was able to do that, and able to, have some very, very happy guests. So thank you for kind of like, showcasing and highlighting that for me. So I
Oh,
appreciate.
absolutely. Because if anybody is looking for a designer, because you design, we the whole event, because I've been to a birthday event, and your the whole design of it was like an experience. Every little thing, like I said, your attention to detail is like, I think you blow me away with it, and I cannot wait because I will be throwing. I, I shall declare it now. I will throw an event in your state.
Okay.
That's my next attack, and we're gonna throw a launch, and we're gonna do it big. And I need you by my side because we're gonna
I got
do it.
you.
We're gonna do it. So, everyone who is watching, thank you so much. Make sure you follow Lumin-e-scents. Okay, so it's Lumin_e_scents. Yes. And I, of course, will promote anything that you're doing, anything, any new items. I am on it. Anything I can do to extend my hand to help. And of course, you already know I'm coming to shop, baby. You know.
Yeah. Thank you. So if anybody is interested, I'm at Luminescence by D. Marie, all one word, at Etsy, on Etsy. And I'm available at Luminescence 19, Luminescents 19 at Gmail if you'd like to get in touch with me, or you can go ahead and you can follow me so we can stay in touch. So thank you again, my darling, for just the opportunity to chat and to talk about my business and to promote it, and I love you.
Love you more. Thank you.